early Shana Tova, an early, happy, and healthy new year to all of you. That sound of the shofar, that clarion call is something that when we hear it, we should immediately recognize it as a wake-up call to all of us. To do the tshuva, to do the repentance, to do the tzedakah, the charitable giving, and to engage in tefillah, in prayer, and cheshbon hanefesh, in looking inwardly into our soul, because the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah, is right around the corner. I'm standing with you in front of this beautiful perennial garden that was planted years ago by our green team here at Community Synagogue. It's a reminder to us, as it's in full bloom now, of that ongoing cycle of life, just as Rosh Hashanah is a reminder to us of the ongoing cycle of the seasons and an ongoing cycle of the new year. And we prepare for the coming of the new year in Jewish tradition in many, many ways. Some people go clothes shopping because they have to wear a new article of clothing when they come into the synagogue. Not that it should be a fashion show, but rather it reminds us to feel renewed and refreshed. In Jewish tradition, we participate in a celebration holiday that takes place the Saturday night prior to Rosh Hashanah, known as Slichot, deeply penitential prayers, although this year we want to make it family-friendly and fun. We do it in conjunction with 3 other congregations, with Congregation KTI, with JCC of Harrison, and with Congregation Emmanuel. And this year's Slichot will take place at Congregation Emmanuel beginning Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Another tradition is to visit the graves of our loved ones who are no longer alive. And so we gather on Sunday morning, this Sunday morning, at our synagogue plot, Community Synagogue plot at Sharon Gardens, for our annual Kever Avot ceremony, literally meaning Kever, meaning the graves of Avot, our ancestors. We gather together in an intimate group to share readings, to share stories, to share our personal stories, to sing psalms together, led by our amazing cantor, Melanie Cooperman. Of course, with the high holidays then and Rosh Hashanah just beyond it, we have so many opportunities. We have family services that Rabbi Frankel will be leading. We have teen experiences that Yael Farber will be leading, and of course our main services in the sanctuaries at SUNY Purchase. The high holidays are filled with a time of not only preparation, but a time for introspection, which brings me to this week's Torah portion. It's known as Nitzavim. It takes place very close to the end of Deuteronomy. In fact, it is the reading that is read in most Reformed synagogues on Yom Kippur morning. It begins with the words, Atem Nitzavim Hayom Kulchem. You stand here this day before Adonai your God, all of you. The word Nitzav is a standing at attention. In fact, the name for the Israeli Defense Forces, Tzva Haganah Yisrael, has that same root as from the word Nitzav. It has to do with a force. It has to do with preparation. It has to do with standing at attention. And so it brings us to think about the notion about standing in terms of asking ourselves the question, at this time of year in particular, to ask ourselves, what do we stand for? What are our core values? And in addition, what will we stand up for? What causes will we march for? Will we stand at attention for? Will we pick up the phones and call our members of Congress for? Will we rally for? Will we hold up signs for and sign petitions for? And in addition, what will we put up with? What will we stand? It's always a question of how far do you go that you'll put up with something before you say enough, and now I have to do something about it. I think Nitzavim is therefore the perfect thing to be thinking about as we prepare for this new year. What do we stand for? What will you stand as you prepare for this new year, asking ourselves individually the question, what do I want to become in the year of 5778? So lots of ways to prepare for this new year. Listen to the sound of the shofar, plant something in the ground, buy a new article of clothing to remember the renewal of this season, show up for our Slichot services, show up for Shabbat services, show up for our Kever Avot service, and of course, we look forward to greeting you next week as together we will come together for our annual reunion of Rosh Hashanah to together greet the new year of 5778. Looking forward to seeing you soon.